What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about indecisiveness and how to know what you want. So, if you guys follow my YouTube channel, I already recorded this video and I already posted it, but for some reason the audio, like from my microphone, wasn't working. So, I took it down and now I have to re-record it. But it's fine. You know what? It's all right. So, my previous video is envy, how to let go of negative thoughts. In this video, I talk about the differences between envy and jealousy. I talk about my personal experiences, like how to know if you're feeling one or the other, and then how to fix it up and how to find like the root problem of why that is happening. Okay, so let's kickstart this. So, indecisiveness, how to know what you want. So, some things we're going to be covering in this video is why do I feel so why do I feel so unsure of my decisions? Why am I always switching up? And I find myself wanting multiple things at once. So why do I feel so unsure of my decisions? This could be, you're gonna go out to eat somewhere, but you can't decide where. If you're going with a significant other, you guys are going back and forth. Oh, what do you want? Oh, I don't know, baby. What's up with you? And then you're like, oh, this, no, 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 not really. You know what I mean? Another thing is, why am I always switching up? This could be you put something on to wear in the morning, and then you're like, actually, nah, I want to wear this. You put that on, and you're like, and it's just like a cycle that keeps repeating itself, and you find yourself wanting multiple things at once. So this could be you want to eat burritos and hamburgers, and you can't decide which, but you want both of them. So that's sort of those types of problem, and then put them in different situations, and you can apply this video to it. So if this video is for you, if you have these thoughts, this is like kind of like a continuation of this. Is you always find yourself overthinking your decisions. So this could be when you're making a decision, you start thinking like, oh well, this can happen, and then this can happen, and this can happen, and this can happen, and this can happen. You're kind of overthinking this domino effect, this butterfly effect. Sort of like you could say, I don't have a glass of water with me right now, but if I poured it on my keyboard, it wouldn't break because it's waterproof. But say it's not waterproof and then it breaks, and then you start thinking like, okay, well, what if my brother gets mad? Then my brother tells my mom, then my mom and my dad, they have an argument because my mom's mad, and I don't know, something happened. Like my dad asked my mom to like, hey, can you please do something? And then she's like, you know what I'm saying? So that probably wouldn't happen. What would probably happen if it were to break somehow, I would just have to pay for it, and then that's that. You don't fully believe in your ability to think on the spot. You don't believe in your intuition. Intuition's like your gut feeling or your sort of instincts. You find yourself always needing a second opinion. So this could go in hand with that you don't believe in your ability to think on the spot. You start thinking, you start asking somebody else for their second opinion because you, for some reason, believe that they are more knowledgeable or they have like a better ability to think, and they probably do. But like they probably do if you're watching this video. But you gotta get out of that, because once you let somebody else's opinion start guiding your own life, you lose control of your own life and your own decisions, and you lose your independency, and you really don't want that happening to you. You can't make up your decision on the spot, and then you can't make up your mind on decision, and that affects other people. So this can go, I don't know, for example, I'll talk about my personal experiences, but what happened with me and my ex is I didn't really know what I wanted. So then I would date her, and then when we would break up, and then I would date her, and then we would break up, and then it affected her and it affected me too. So these are all very unfortunate things that happen to many people. So if you are going through this, just know that you're not alone. There's many articles, and I'll list them in the description. I'll also list a video that I watch by Entrepreneurs in Cars. I always mention him, and he's a great person, great video creator. You should definitely go check him out. So let's get over some examples, but before that, I want to get a glass of water, so I'll be right back. All right, I got my water. That is incredible. Okay, so let's get over some examples. This goes back to the dating. I don't know if I'm dating the right person, because so this goes hand in hand with my sort of experience with that. Essentially, you haven't really figured out what you wanted or what you want, and then you start thinking and overthinking about the person. And if you're just starting out dating, and if you're young, you shouldn't really think about this, because dating when you're young should just really be about fun. You shouldn't really be thinking about marriage. That's a red flag. If your significant other's thinking about marriage, you should definitely run the opposite direction. You don't know where to eat. I already talked about that, and I already talked about what clothes you should wear, but I'll elaborate a little bit on this. This could just be because you're insecure. And if you're insecure, I think I have a video about it. Not really insecurities directly, but I do have a video on self-improvement, and you should just definitely go check out my channel. Just go on my channel, go to videos, and you'll find it there. It's my second video. And there I just talk about things you could do to improve yourself and improve your confidence, self-image, and all of those things. You should definitely check it out, because those sort of things branch out to a large kind of variety of insecurities, and then because of those insecurities, a bunch of problems can branch out, and mental health issues. And it's just something that could easily be, well, not, I don't want to say easily be fixed, but can be avoided if you're in the beginning stages of it. Why can this be happening? So it could be because of past experiences. Like maybe you made a bad decision in the past, and then because of that, some other unfortunate events happened, and then that sort of affected your belief in yourself and your ability to think, because you just start thinking like, oh, what if something bad happens, or this. So we'll talk about how you could fix that. The second thing is lack of confidence. You don't have that confidence in yourself. This could also be something with self-image or past experiences, or it could also be because someone made fun of you, like someone bullied you, or someone said like, oh, like you're not smart, you're stupid, like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're younger, that can just evolve, because your brain's change, your brain's growing up, and you're easily influenced, and your personality could be changed or altered when you're young. Believing other people are more capable than you. So this could mean you will lean on someone else for their decision or their opinion, and then you let that influence your decision, your final decision, or you'll just let them make the final decision. So this is, I already talked about this, but it's really bad. You lose your independency. You just end up giving or throwing away your ability to control your life, your self-control. And it could also be because of self-image, confidence, past experiences, and things like that. So we'll talk about my personal story. So this is my first time dating. I laugh a little bit because it's really stupid. So this must have been 2 years ago. I was at the time in the Dominican Republic, and I was texting this girl, and she had a fat crush on me, and I thought she was pretty, but I didn't really like her personality, but I thought she was hot, so I was like, fuck it. So I'm like, okay, like, you know what, do you want to date? And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. It was over text, and essentially what happened was, after she said yeah, I just kind of know. I just didn't really know what to think. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I did it. Didn't expect I'd get this far. And then I ended up falling asleep because it was late at night. But when I woke up, I was super. I was in this spot where I was like, shit, I fucked up. I don't actually like this girl. I'm leading her on. I don't wanna lead her on, because that's fucked up. That's not something that you should do, especially if you're a guy. You shouldn't take advantage of the fact that a girl has a fat crush on you and you don't, and you use her. I mean, that's, first of all, that's not mature. If you're doing that, just get the fuck out of that situation, because, and then grow up. Honestly, just grow the fuck up. Also, at the time, like, I don't know. I don't think I wasn't ready to date. It's not. I don't think. I know I wasn't ready to date. So essentially, what I did was I just told her, like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this. Like, this is too much, and I broke up. I broke up with her. We broke it off. So obviously it hurt her, and my indecisiveness of not knowing whether I wanted to date her or not, because of, various reasons. I guess I just hurt her really badly, and she didn't talk to me for 6 months, and then I texted her on her birthday, and then we became friends again. But continuing on, my ex. So this is my other ex. So I already kind of sort of talked about this, where we would break up and then get back together, break up, get back together, break up. And then when you do that, if you're in that sort of toxic relationship right now, you know that it breaks you down. First of all, get the fuck out. And then second of all, it breaks you down as a person. It starts dismantling you, because you expect a different outcome, just repeating the same thing. And if you don't know what that is, if you don't understand that reference, it is insanity. So let's search it up. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So Albert Einstein is widely credited with saying the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again but expecting different results. So if you're in a relationship, you break up and you get back together expecting a longer term relationship, you break up and you do that over and over again, you start going insane, right? And that definitely happened to me, and it's still sort of affecting me right now. I'm going to be honest, I'm not entirely over the whole situation, but you know what? It happens. So if you're in that situation, please, I highly advise you to get out. And if I guess after, I don't know, a few months, maybe you guys could be friends, but you do not want to keep dating that person. If you guys broke up more than once, then it's not gonna work out. Okay, how do you change this? So this is a little more difficult because every single person and their feelings is different. It's no one person is the same thing. Like the same person, their personality is the same, their thought process is the same. But you know what is the same between every single guy, or the majority of guys and the majority of females, is that natural human feeling, that natural human action. You know what I'm saying? Like the primal sort of instincts and feelings. I don't really know if you understand what I'm getting at, but anyways, you gotta understand that you're not perfect. No person makes the perfect decision, the right decision every single time, regardless if it's you making it or your friend that you think has the perfect ability to. The chances are one of you is gonna get it wrong. I mean, it's sort of like a 50-50 chance a lot of the time, and they're not more capable than you. The majority of the time, I mean, sometimes they are. I'm not, don't get me wrong. Sometimes people specialize in something and that's completely different. But if you're talking about your own personal life, you could take a second opinion, I guess, but you also gotta let that affect your opinion and weighing out the pros and cons rather than you just going with it because you believe that they're somehow better at knowing your situations. Nobody's better at knowing your situation but yourself, unless you're going through a mental disorder. So you go see a therapist. Okay. So, honestly, let me preface. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am not a fucking professional, but I'm just talking about my experiences and then what I did personally to get better. Okay, so you gotta take that with a grain of salt, please. It's impossible to foresee the future. So it's impossible to know what's going to happen after you make a decision. I mean, who knows the future? And people who believe that they know the future are 99% of the time bullshitting. And I'm saying 99% because I don't know. Anything's possible, right? I don't know everything. I'm not claiming to be a perfect god or some shit like that. So it's impossible to to foresee the future. That's something you just have to accept. So whenever you're making a decision, obviously there's probably gonna be some anxiety that goes with it, and you have to really take a step back, take a breather, and then understand that nobody's perfect and nobody knows what's going to happen. So you have to, and I think Entrepreneurs in Cars covers this. Go watch this video; it's amazing. Actually, go subscribe to his channel. He's just amazing, an amazing person, as is. Nobody cares what you do, eat, or wear. So this goes to your self-confidence issues, where you don't know what to wear because you feel like, oh, someone's looking at me, and that bullshit. So nobody cares what you're doing unless you're doing something really bad, and that's different. But if you're just walking a certain way, nobody, well, maybe someone will bat an eye, but that's it. Like, nobody's really gonna do anything about it. Nobody's gonna judge you whether you're eating a burrito or a double Big Mac. Nobody's gonna look at you and what you're wearing and then go like, "Ew, that guy's stupid," and then harass you about it. I mean, obviously there are the few special eggs, bad apples in the bunch that will, but 99.9999999% of the chance nobody's gonna say shit about it. Nobody really gives a fuck. Everybody has their own problems. Everybody has their own life. You're not that special. Just humble yourself. Honestly, humble yourself. You're not that special. There's a lot of people that think they're special, but you're not. So if you're one of those people, I'm sorry to break it to you, but there's 7.7779 billion other people in the world that have a life just like you, and trust me, it's not a Disney movie where there's one special person flying on a carpet across the world. So remember the times where your decision making went well for you. So a lot of times I find that people make a bad decision once, and then automatically the rest of their decisions have, like, it kind of alters the way they think about their ability, and the rest of their decisions are taken more carefully, and that's good. But it's bad when it gets to the point where you're completely unconfident in your own ability to make your decisions, in your own, or just your own ability in general to think. So if you find yourself in this situation, I highly suggest looking at decisions where you did do something good. Like maybe instead of going right on this street, you went left and you avoided a shitload of traffic. And you have to start I'm trying to pick out my words because I don't really know how to explain this, but you got to start looking at the positive outcomes of decisions that you've made in the past instead of just at the negatives. Like, it's sort of like having pros and cons, having most likely more pros than cons, but you focus on just the negative part. And I understand if you do, that's just human nature, where we'll always focus on the bad stuff. For example, when you're thinking back at a person, you don't focus on the good things that they do, but you focus on the bad people, on the bad things, and we judge every single person like that. So I can understand why that can evolve to other different departments of yourself and your thinking. But you gotta really change that mindset, is what I'm trying to say. Change the mindset where you start thinking about all the good outcomes of some decision that you've made in the past. Maybe, and we'll get into the street thing later. I do talk about this somewhere here. Every bad decision is a lesson learned. So I can also talk about the street decision. So let's say you did turn right on the street and you ran into some traffic and you check the time. It's, I don't know, 5 p.m. Let's say. At 5 p.m. there's rush hour. So now you can correlate the two things, and then okay, next time I'll just go left, avoid all the traffic coming this way. Maybe I could turn right up here and then get home faster. So don't kick yourself over the negatives or the fact that it went wrong. You could learn and you could take a positive from that. And every negative there's a positive, and every positive there's a negative, yin and yang, right? So let's continue. Why is indecisiveness bad for me? So indecisiveness will make you unattractive. No girl or really any person likes someone who is stuck on what they want to wear for 30 minutes. It's wasting time on unnecessary things, and it's wasting time on unnecessary things. So this could obviously be with other things, like maybe friendships. Nobody really likes a person that can't decide where they want to eat or what they want to wear or what they want to do. So don't do it, really. Work on yourself. Maybe pick up a book, watch Entrepreneurs in Cars, or just go on like a little soul searching. Maybe you could go on a walk and think about your decision making instead of, that's actually a really good idea. So sometimes I do actually go on a walk. There's a forest right here behind my house, and there's a trail that goes throughout the forest, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So if I'm ever stuck on something, I literally go on a walk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and just think about it. And if I don't want to think about it, I'll just try to clear my mind and then breathe in, the fresh air. Because if you live in the city, the air's like, not that great. It's polluted and all of that. So definitely go take a little walk or on a bike ride. If you have an electric vehicle, go on that, go like, so definitely a good way to help come up with a decision rather than just being stuck on it all the time. It can affect your intimate relationship with your significant other. So I already talked about this, and could possibly lead to a fight, argument, or breakup. And it did for me. So I guess this is sort of self-explanatory. Indecisiveness, you don't know if you want to get married, I guess, and then that person feels that they're unwanted, and you guys have a fight, and then maybe things can get toxic, like, oh, am I not unwanted, am I not good enough for you? And then you get, first of all, that's a red flag, get the fuck out. But if it does happen and you still really like the person, maybe they're just really hurt and they start spewing random shit, you have to work on that, and you have to really talk them through about it and why it's such a big decision and whatever. So that's a completely different topic. I don't really want to stand on that for a long time because we're already 19 minutes in. So constantly overthinking can lead to mental health issues and negative thoughts that can bring your self-confidence and morality down. So this is like the domino effect that I talked about the keyboard, but you could put this on, and you could put this on other things. Sorry, in other contexts. Constantly overthinking can lead to mental issues and negative thoughts. So yeah, it can. You can start overthinking about this things that can lead from this one thing. And let me get something straight, it's not going to happen. I mean, reality is different. There's so many different factors that can alter some sort of outcome, right? I mean, think about it. The weather, it's moody outside, so I just feel moody because I look outside and it's super dark gray and it's raining, cloudy. So you have to understand that there's so many different factors that can really alter the future, and there's no real way to really foresee it. So there's no point in overthinking. especially if you're constantly overthinking. That's just a completely different thing. I highly suggest seeing a psychologist or a therapist, or soul searching, or maybe, I don't know, read some sort of book. If you're religious, read the Bible, read the Quran, read something. And if you're not religious, you should also read those books. And the reason being is those books are just honestly are just a really good way to set your morals, and there's a lot of wise sort of things in there. So just because it's religious does not don't discredit the people that actually wrote it, because they were people that went through a lot of different things. So if you discredit because of the fact that they're religious, you're just not that intelligent. So I don't know, go pick one up. Uh that can bring your self-confidence and morality down. So I already really talked about that. I don't really want to get in about it. So morality is just how you really feel. If you're unsure of a decision, it's important to look at the bright side and the lesson learned rather than the negative outcome. Of course, do not overlook it, but don't stay on the negativity for too long. Accept it and move on. So yeah, you have to really accept things and you have to move on. Okay, don't just stay looking at the negative. For example, this goes back to the street thing. So let's say you're driving with a person and you took the right turn and now you're in traffic. Oh, they get mad like, oh, what the hell? Why did you go left? Don't you know it's rush hour? So yeah, obviously look at the negative. Now you're in traffic, but look at the positive. Now you know next time go left at this point. But you can also maybe sit down and have a conversation with that person. I mean, everything's moving slowly, so what's the point of just not talking, right? Maybe you can have a nice conversation. You guys can decide like, hey, do you want to go get some ice cream? Since we're stuck, we can just wait for traffic to move on. Don't stay on the negativity. It happened. You can't change it. I mean, yeah, I guess you could do a U-turn, but I mean, maybe you can't. You can't change it. You can't do anything about it. You have to just be in it, accept it, move on, work on it, and then get home. It's simple. So I will list the articles in the description and the videos in the description. I will also leave my previous video and my contact information. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and send me an email if you ever want to talk or set something up. I do want to start, I'm going to make a little announcement. I do want to start a new series, so be looking out for that. It's really great, and I want to evolve this podcast and spread it. So make sure to like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys another day. Thank you. Bye-bye.